Welcome everyone, today we'll have a new guide for Honkai Star Rail. As you can see behind me, we have some very detailed notes of how to farm for free player account on the daily farming route with no energy. And this is actually really good because you can get over 114,000 experience for your characters each day, and this actually translates into 36 free energy a day if you do this correctly. So as you can see behind me, I have provided a detailed note to explain how this works and what are the really good items you can get in the later stage of the game, include the green ones, blue ones, and also the purple ones. And also you can be crafting special items like the cooking item that increase your damage and also ability dramatically in the game. So notice here, after a bit of farming, I was able to craft 8 of those. Now, in order to make the guide more accessible and also more friendly to viewers and also make it easy for you to farm, I have tried to test out most of the zones and provide additional notes on the monster loots and also what are the tips and also guides to get the most out of each map. So you can see here, I wrote a 10-page summary of each of the maps that was available to me, and I want to show you guys what are the maps of the monsters, what is available, and what are my tips, what is the rare monster you can find, and what is the direction you can take. And also there's additional tips of gathering monsters and also tricks to do things faster. Now, because I'm making a lot of videos and also guides, I cannot access to the last zone yet. So this guide does not have the last zone of the map. So what I'll show you guys is over here. So notice currently I only have 2 zones. In the future, I'll be updating this guide for the last zone. And this should be able to provide us with more resource, more loots, and also more free-to-play, no energy routes. So now coming over to our notes. As usual guys, if you want the full guide over this one, because this is going to be really helpful, make sure you check the links below for additional guides and some tips, and also my Google Docs for this one. Now, I have had this plan of making a guide for this because Genshin Impact also have this no energy free farming route, and just happens to be one of my viewers told me that ProtonGG has posted one, and what they do is they shout the direction of the map. They actually have arrows, because when I was trying to do this, I didn't have arrows, so I decided to incorporate the images into my guide, and I'll provide the link to ProtonGG as well, and thank you so much for them for sharing this one. So they also did some really detailed summary, and this is based on the world tier number 2. And I'll go through the brief summary of how much benefit you get out of this method. Then the second part, we'll go through this method together with more details and also more tips. Now over here we can see that by doing this method, you can be killing monsters, and the monsters will drop a tons of loot depending on the difficulty you're killing them with. And some of those loot will be for cooking. And this is really powerful, right? You can see my example over here for cooking. I start to get a lot of cooking materials. Now we will have a cooking video to show you guys where to get the recipes and how to become stronger in the future. So you can get the items, start to cook, and get even stronger. So what is so good about farming with no energy? Well, it doesn't cost energy, so it's free to play, right? The only limitation is how much time it takes for you to do this and how long time you have. You can only do this about 1.5 hours a day, so this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Usually no one does it all the time, right? The best thing about this is you can be getting character experience. By the calculation over here on ProtonGG, you can get over 114,000 experience if you do everything. You also get character essential materials, traits, passive materials, cooking materials, and also some credits. So in total, to get all those freebies, if you're doing this fully, you get over 266 free energy worth of items. So what I mean by that is, notice here we'll be spending energy to farm certain dungeons, like over here 10 energy for those items. So the calculation here is what items you get from those monsters is translated over 266 free energy. And that comes up to be quite a bit. So I did a quick calculation, it comes up to 36 free energy a day if you do this fully. But again guys, no one does this fully, so I want to recommend some of the routes and some of the tricks to do this much more quicker. Because back in Genshin Impact, I eventually end up killing my own slimes and collecting butterflies in less than 3 minutes, even though the whole route is like 30 minutes, right? Now over here you can see that I mentioned about my equilibrium is not 2 yet, so you can see that my list of loots are mostly green. But in the future, the same monsters will drop green, blue, and also purple loots, and this is very important for everything. Now during the drafting and also making of this video and this guide, I have also used the official interactive map to see exactly where the rare monsters is and also to give you guys more information. So if you want to try this route yourself, or if you want to be farming a specific monster, make sure you use the interactive map to select the monster you want to be farming and then follow the route for the best experience. But to make things easy, I kind of want to highlight those for you guys, and you can see on the notes. So let's briefly go through each of the zones and I'll talk to you guys about it. The first zone is going to be the base zone. This one's very straightforward. There's only one mob to farm and the items you get will be those items. So the 2 items will be over here, and I think this one will be the crafting material, and I'll show you guys the crafting over here. Notice that after trying some of those out, I can now craft a lot of things. I mean, not too much, but notice I start to have more of the solid water for one of the crafting materials. And yes, so what I want to highlight is this is a really good one. Definitely consider this, and we'll make a video about this as well. So a lot of good items you can be getting. So I want to highlight each of the zones, if they are new enemies, and what items you get from them. Now going by order, the second zone is the storage zone. Over here you can see there's a lot of teleportation point and there's a few monsters to be farming. So what I recommend is using the 2 warp points in the middle and backtrack by teleporting back to them. The monster provides similar loots, and you can see sometimes you can find multiple monsters when there are more red dots. And this is also the case for the supply zone. You start over here where you start on the left hand side, you run through the route up towards the left hand side, and you can just do this once, you don't have to teleport again. There is no loot change, so the monster will drop the similar items on the first part. Now once we move over to the second planet, we have the outlying snow plains as the first zone. This zone is also pretty straightforward, so what I recommend is going from the right hand side all the way to the left hand side. But if you don't want to do those 2 monsters, you can just do the 5 monsters over here. And over here I also have a little trick to do more monsters at once. So I'll just come over to the zone. So what I recommend is if you do this path, you find 2 monsters, right? If you go here right away from this teleportation point, you go right away into 5 monsters. And one of the best way of farming those monsters, if you're a little lazy like me, like to auto-ride, notice there's 3 monster camp over here, there's 2 monster camp over here. And if you taunt them, like you stare in front of them, let them chase you, and if you run fast enough, you come back over here, you're like, hey guys, hit me. And if you do this correctly, let me see if I got this correct. Oh, I didn't do this correctly. So notice that I only have 2 camps of enemies. If you do this, let's try again. If you were to do this correctly, you can have at least 3 camps or like 3 waves of enemies together. I mean, it is a little silly, right? So it saves the time of engaging enemy twice, and this is what you can do for most of the zones. I just want to do this properly. The first time I did it properly. So you kind of want to go over here, like, hey guys, hit me. And I think I did this correctly, right? Let's see. Did I get 3 waves? Yeah, 3 waves. So now you just auto and you just do something else. And when you come back, they'll be all dead. You'll be getting those loots. And this is a really good way to get multiple packs and do even faster farming. So you save some time. Now, while my game is farming in the background, let's keep going with the recording. So for the backwater, it is quite straightforward. You start with the center, you go upwards, and also you go downwards. The mobs start to give a little difference of loot, and also you can see over here, you get a bit of difference of loot over here on the second planet. So you can see what the mobs provide, and usually the red butterfly, and not the red butterfly, the red bats and also the ice bats, they're pretty basic and very easy. Now as we move over to the corridor of fading, what you're going to see is the first part is actually not worth it. It's just too long to run and 2 little monsters. I don't bother with it. You can do the second part. Come over to the middle teleportation, run downwards and also take the route. So run downwards and go left as you're running downwards and then take the routes. And there's about a bunch of monsters. Now those monsters start to provide additional items because you get to see one of the rare monsters. This is the fragmented monsters, and you get more items for farming those. You also get 2 waves. So next up we have the map with Everwinder Hill. So over here for this particular map, what you're going to see is we can start from the start of the map and run upwards to get 3 monsters. Or you can start with the middle camp and just go for those 3 monsters. I recommend if you're just doing this quickly, do the middle one, because the middle one have 1 rare monster, and I do believe those monsters only resets every day. So again, this is a fragmented monster that is a rare one. I want to highlight those to you guys and show you guys the loot. Unfortunately, I can only see the green ones, but they're the same as for the blue ones and also the purple ones. They just upgraded. Now moving over to the Great Mine, what you're going to see is there's going to be a lot of camps, and you want to start teleporting from the middle. And similarly, some of those camps, you can stack the 3 monsters together to do them at once, similar to what I'm doing in the background. Oh, I killed them already, I can't show you anymore. So similar to what I'm doing in the background, you can stack them together. And one thing I do want to highlight, on the interactive map, because I want to go very detailed for you guys, I can see that there is monsters that I wasn't finding. Actually, they updated. I was looking for the automation direwolf because, you know, I want to get everything for you guys, right? So what I mean by automation direwolf is this monster over here. So you can see here, the automation direwolf will provide those particular jobs when you killed it. Now, of course, this is at higher difficulty, so we're looking only at the green jobs, right? So there's nothing too special about the monster. It's just that on the map, it shows that there is a monster, and when I went to there to test for you guys, I couldn't find it. So if you guys know, let me know. But the tips I have over here I told you guys before, I was able to group 3 monsters together and kill them in one wave, and this is much faster. Now going over to Reviton, this is quite easy as well, so you can take the left side, you take the right side. Now if you're looking for the rare fragmented monster, it is on the left over here. So if you're going from the bottom or the top, come over here to the left to kill the rare fragmented monster. There's only one on this map. Next up, we have Robot Settlement. So there's 2 floors. Definitely go to the floor 1 because there's nothing on floor 2. For the first floor, there's nothing special of the monsters, so just take the route, go forward and go all the way to the left hand side. Oh, right hand side, mixing left and right. So yeah, monsters are pretty straightforward. They do have robotic parts, and that is one of the parts we'll be needing for crafting certain items like robotic arm. Yeah, I'll make a video guide on this one. So that summarizes the 2 planets I have visited. Now I have not been able to do the last planet because I don't have, Trailblazer level 29. But hopefully this week I will be able to do it. I'll update this video for you guys. Now hopefully you guys enjoyed this detailed guide. I did spend a lot of time testing each of the maps for you guys, but I don't want to make the replay video for you guys. It's actually really long. So I just thought that detailed notes and explain everything to you guys more details in this video. Now please consider leaving this video on while you're farming for your daily routes, so we got more views. Of course, this is just a joke, right? So it actually helps the free-to-play player and also new players to see that you can play the game without spending energy. And it's very important to understand this so you don't get a temptation to spend for the energy refills and spend more into the game, because gadget games can be very predatory and very scary. So I really want to, share this video, and if you do have friends and, people you like, share the video with them so they will actually see these kind of videos and they will be stronger with, free to play. And yes, if you happen to watch this video while you're playing the game, it's really good. You can mute me in the background if I get too noisy. And of course, before we finish, I should list all the guides we have over here as the links. Not trying to self-promote, but in case you guys miss any, you can have a look at the free resource and also the other guides that's related to the game. Now before you go, and if you guys didn't know, we have a new YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out the behind the scenes and also fun clips and also more stories about us. And then you get to know me a little more personally instead of just reading the news and also the games, right? So I want to share a little bit more with you guys. So make sure you check this channel out if you're interested about Matt and also Uni. She's really funny too, and she's really shy. So I want to give her a surprise and do a shout out for the new channel to get some subscribers. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.